Arte Restauro collaborates with Pusat Konservasi Cagar Budaya and Museum Seni Rupa and Keramik to restore an artwork from their permanent collection titled Semar by Soedibyo, measuring 124 by 88 centimeters, located in Kota Tua, Jakarta. Observing the painting, it was apparent that the frame was damaged and was missing a part of the frame on the right-hand side. Further analysis was conducted on the back of the painting to check if there were any microorganism or mold. Prior to beginning the restoration process, we needed to communicate to Museum Seni Rupa and Keramik on the proposed conservation plans and timeline for the painting. Using a backlight in a dark room, traces of surface damages were noted and pointed out. Although the back of the canvas still looked intact, we managed to spot some holes on the canvas structure. On the back of the canvas, some areas suffered from small holes and thinning canvas due to termite damage. On the surface, the painting suffered from lacerations or surface scratches. Painting restoration begins with complete documentation for the artwork while formulating ways to manage the timeline efficiently. Working on the outer frame, painting had an additional frame attachment on 4 sides on the back of the frame, which we suspected was put in place to hold the frame together. Unfortunately, the condition of these frame attachments were poor and badly infested with termites and needed to be removed as to avoid any termite spread into the original frame. After removing this frame attachment from the original frame, the outer frame was then cleaned, making sure the surface is now level and smooth prior to receiving any treatment. Termites can be rooted all the way inside the frame. Treatment were also added not only on the surface, but also injected into the termites' holes. The frame was then left to dry for the next few days. While doing structural work, the canvas that looked a bit sagging was then restretched, and canvas threads were cleaned. The sides of the canvas were pulled and tucked in neatly to all sides to ensure a uniform tension on all sides. A previous restoration was apparent at the back of the canvas, causing some nodes and irregularities on the canvas texture. When it was removed, a cut was exposed underneath. Using a warm spatula, canvas thread and adhesives, the cut was restored and stabilized. Once the canvas structure is stabilized, we then can start working on the frame that needed our attention. Replicas of wooden attachment were made by using solid wood treated with anti-termites and then reapplied onto the same position on the joints using adhesive and non-corrosive nails. Moving the restoring side of the frame, we had designed and sculpted a pattern to fit the gap following the rest of the frame and painted it the same color so that the restored area was invisible to the eye. Next, we move on to cleaning the painting surface. Using conservation cleaning solution based on aromatic ethers as active agent, a thin layer of cleaning solution was applied on a small area of the canvas to see the reaction towards various paint surfaces. Once it has passed the material test, then it was safe to apply all over the painting surface. Although now the painting is clean from dirt and other debris, we can also see under magnifying glass all the exposed canvas where the paint layer is missing. For example, on the restoration, on the surface scratches and on the cut where the previous restoration was. To apply the right color, we take the closest color to the missing area and apply the color using a fine brush, following the brush strokes. This process is known as color retouching. After color retouches were completed, then varnish solution was prepared. This final colorless coating at the restoration process gives color depth to any painting and act to lock in all the restoration treatment that took place and keeping the paint structure intact for a long time. Once the varnish sets in and dries in a few days, then we wanted to consolidate the back of the canvas in order to strengthen the canvas texture. This also helps to cover areas where the canvas texture was already thin and helps to cover small holes that was previously damaged by termites, but not big enough to be restored. When this process is dried, the painting was then placed inside the restored frame. Once this is done, the painting is placed back on an easel and a checklist of the previous damaged area was compared to make sure we did not miss any damages that need to be restored. On the last day, the painting is returned back to Museum Seni Rupa and Keramik and placed on the wall that was empty for the past 2 weeks. We are happy to be part of this project and hope to see you next time.